Hey, it's Chris and Rich doing a deep dive for the Foiling magazine on the foil drive high power battery and motor upgrade system, which has been out a little while now. Spent a bit of time, especially you, on running it through its paces.
Yes, we've got a lovely sort of long-term test scenario with this. So we've had plenty of time on it. So we've really kind of understood what a massive upgrade it is to this system. So the foil drive system's been around for getting on for 2 years. And this is the most significant upgrade we've seen, I think. Which
is a battery and a motor upgrade, right?
Yeah, that's right. So sort of starting off with the battery, as kind of cell technology's developed and the costs have come down, they basically have to keep the same form factor with the battery. So it's exactly the same size as your normal max power battery. But it's got about another 20% more runtime. So it's got a more energy dense cell in it.
Yeah.
So what that does is do two things. It extends your runtime, and it also means you can push through more current through the system, and it basically gives you a hell of a lot more power in both contexts.
Which is where the motor comes in as well, which that outputs a higher performance to?
So the motor it is slightly larger than the original motor. So I think it's about 10 mil longer in this section, in the kind of barrel section. And it's 160 grams heavier, but I mean, that's really negligible on the whole system. I don't know, as a percentage, that's tiny. So this guy, I think the first thing you'd notice is it's a hell of a lot more quiet, and it's a hell of a more, and a hell of a lot more torquey. So probably, I think the figure's around 25%, something like that, but it's just got so much more thrust, and it makes the thing feel quite kind of premium and quiet. Because the old one would cavitate a bit as it span up. This thing just like pushes, or it just pushes all that power into thrust.
I noticed that a lot when you put me on this. I don't spend a lot of time on foil drive, but having spent some time on the launch system, always felt like you were searching for power, and sometimes you needed a little bit of surge from the wave just to get in on it, especially on a smaller board. But with this, that wasn't an issue. You squeeze the trigger and there's so much torque there, you're just straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's quite funny. So obviously I'm a heavier rider, so this is meant for me. I can really just match my front wing size to the swell conditions now. So previously I'd always probably have to ride foil size above what I'd be comfortable with, just to guarantee I'd get a flat water start, particularly when it was bigger. But with this system now, I can run down to, I've been mainly using the Armstrong system with it, and a HA 680 with a little chip in, or a 780 flat water start. And that really opens up much bigger swell conditions for me. And that's what I've taken it into through winter and spring, really.
Did you find, like I found straight away, the torque to get you up to allow you to get on the smaller foils, but then I also found as you touch back down and the pod hits the water, as long as you've got power, it's a lot smoother with its re-entry because of that torque as well?
Yeah, it seems to maintain momentum better. Yeah. So as you take off, there's obviously more grunt. But yeah, and as you touch down, it will just push through the water. You know, it just keeps spinning more. Yeah. It's got more momentum.
And the battery system, ultimately, you're getting that longer run time and you're getting a little bit more torque. Does that make a big difference if you run it with the original motor?
So what you can do is obviously buy one or the other piece. So you can run the original battery with the high power motor, or the original motor with the high power battery. Got there eventually. So if I was going to choose just one of the two, if I was in a position where I was going to choose one or the other, I'd definitely choose the motor, because I think you can still unlock all the power, but you just have that quieter, more sort of thrusty feeling. Obviously, all this means you can downsize your boards as well. And now we've kind of, you've got trench boards in the mix as well. These systems are getting really, really efficient, and the riding feeling's incredible.
Significant upgrade. I mean, one question which I've heard people ask is, obviously, if you're coming in and you're getting your first foil drive, you're going to be weighing up the cost and trying to edge yourself to getting these high performance, high power systems, on the word go. Yeah. But if you're already running an existing system, the question is it a worthy upgrade?
I'd have said if you're heavy, definitely. If you want to extend your run times, even if you were 60, 70 kilos, you could just swap the battery and you'll extend your run times from an hour to probably an hour and a half or something like that. I'm regularly getting, at 90 kilos, probably an hour and a quarter in decent wave conditions on a 780. So that's pretty indicative.
Yes,
I mean, after that, my legs are burnt out pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like how much more, you could almost downscale to having one battery where previously people would have two. Not that that's great for sales, but yeah.
Yeah, it's smart, really good system. And I noticed it, said not spending a lot of time, but noticed it straight away how it makes the sport more accessible because you can just go out in a wider range of conditions. I found, and you're saying about smaller foils, but also limper conditions where you don't need that push in. Yeah. And I felt like it's almost on par with the talk of a dedicated e-foil system.
It really brings it up to that sort of level. I've had, my wife's been using it a bit. She's around 60 kilos. She thinks it's too powerful. It's got too much juice for her. If it was like the old one where she'd floor it to get going, she's like, but it's too much.
I found that with this. I found that if you could, it's not even a criticism, but it took more sensitivity with the trigger. Yeah. That there's so much torque, you can't just squeeze and hold. You have to really let it off as the foil engages and find that point. That's
right. You've got to be more sensitive with all that power. You can back all that off in the app. Which if you don't feel you need it, if you're running a sort of mid-sized foil or something, you didn't need all that juice to get going, you can back it all off, it's all throttleable. When you've got both components, you can enter a serial number on this and unlock sort of all the power, fully turn it up to 11. But I think if you have one or the other component, you can't do that. Worth confirming on that one. But yeah, there is a bit of tiddling around in the app you can do.
Smart. Yeah. So super techy, well worth the upgrades.
I'd say so. Everyone I've seen sort of around here, particularly buying them new, will just buy this one. It's a relatively small increase in initial costs, particularly if you're starting from scratch. So yeah,
it's future-proof, it's better.
Yeah.
You'd recommend it?
Where are they going to go next with it is my worry.
Ooh, let's see.
Will it render the jet ski obsolete? Probably not. But yeah, it's a fantastic addition. And yeah, we'd thoroughly recommend it, really.
That's the high power system, the battery or the motor. Collectively unlocks more, but individually brings more to the party too.
Yeah, both, all of it. All of it's good. Take it all.
And that is the Foil Drive high power system upgrades from Foil Drive. Check them out.